road that might be fun to hit. So they drove up to the station and they both jumped off of Jake's ride. They were up to derision at Jake's decision as they both saw to the inside. The attendant, he was an old man, and you know he didn't think it very funny. When Petula pulled out that great big gun, said, "Honey, give me all your money." Well, the old man opened up the cash drawer, and Jake grabbed the money and ran. With Petula out the door to the big chop parlor that was parked on the center kickstand. Then they headed out for the 4-lane, and they thought it was lots of fun. With Jake on his hog, with Petula the dog, with the automatic 45 gun. Jake, he thought it was the best there was, just down the interstate he saw. Till the day he tangled with the county sheriff, who they all call 104. Very humorous, and you know he didn't like to get sassed, cause just that morning he'd had a cup of coffee with a cop named Pendergrast. But the old man had a lot of sense, and he knew just exactly what to do. He dropped a dime in the phone till he got the dial tone, and he talked to operator 42. Operator 42, she was the best, and she gave out the description of Jake the maggot with the gang colors jacket and Petula with the 45 gun. Now it just so happens that Jake, he was headed for 522, where 104 was popped in the shade, thinking, "Baby, I'm waiting for you." Jake laughed and thought he had it made, but you should have seen the look in his eyes when outside Monroe on 522, you know he got one hell of a surprise, cause up ahead on the...
Do you have a paranormal story you want to share on Night Dreams Talk Radio? You could be a guest. Email us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades. Here's your host, Gary Anderson.
And here I am with our guest tonight, Kelly Eyer. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about cryptids, quite a bit more, actually, Black Eyed Children. Kelly, it's funny because at one point you couldn't go a week without hearing about Black Eyed Children back about 15 years ago. And then it's then it just like dried up.
Yeah. I mean, and it absolutely dried up. And I've been trying to find stories, and I'm trying to do not to get too tinfoily about it, but, put the map of North America on my wall and put the little pins on where the stories are at. But all I'm really finding is Abilene, Texas, and Portland, Oregon is for the only real place that I can get stories that has names, dates, and locations.
I know back years ago, it was really a lot of, in the Midwest, a lot of reports of Black Eyed Children. But then again, that was around 2010, 11, somewhere around there, and then it just dried up.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it was just like I said, you can go 1 year where you're hearing a Bigfoot story, like just every single day. You turn up, you pull up a podcast or a radio station or something like that. Someone's talking about Bigfoot. And then a couple months later, you're not hearing so much about it. It just slows up, but you're hearing a little bit, at least a little bit of it. Black Eyed Kids just fell off the map.
Oh, it did. Well, just like if our world was flat and all the kids just marched to the end of it and fell off. That's how it went. It's strange, but there were so many reports over a certain time frame of people were seeing Black Eyed Children everywhere. And if they do exist or did exist, could you imagine how scary that would be to go to, your door, open up your door, and here's young kids, with black eyes. I mean, especially before, contacts or stuff like that, where they had stuff like that. now you can go in and you can buy, weird color contacts. Even young kids can buy them. But
and there's some people out there that are actually getting their eyeballs tattooed like that. As a guy with tattoos, I'm like, there's an extent to where I will draw that line and not cross it.
Oh yeah, I have some tattoos. When I was young, I was like into skateboarding. This is back when I'm 68 years old, and then I got a couple motorcycle ones on my one arm. But I tell you, after you have them for like 20, 30 years, they don't look like what they originally did with tattoos. My daughter, my oldest daughter, got a Tweety bird on her tummy, and it was only 3 inches when she got it. She's had 8 kids, and now her Tweety bird is now like 7 inches long and kind of looks like a penguin.
Yeah, that tends to happen, but I'm like, nah. By the way, belated birthday, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, mine's coming up in about 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, but you're young.
Yeah. My wife keeps me young, so.
Well, mine keeps me old. You want to trade? No, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I can't do anything right. But you know what? We've been married for going on 44 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good milestone, yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, we're
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
We're
going on 4 up in April.
Well, put a 0 behind it. But, it's funny.
Yeah.
For years, I would try to get my wife to get on the back of the motorcycle. She refused to do it. Absolutely said she had no desire to get on it. Okay? And then 3 years ago, she goes, hey, can I get on the back of your motorcycle? I'll be honest with you. If you ride for years on a motorcycle by yourself, you're really content riding by yourself. I'm going to be honest. At least that's how I was. Because I couldn't do what I normally do when I'm, and then all of a sudden she got on it and she loved it. And she loved it to the point where, oh man, 9 o'clock in the morning to come out, I would want to sleep in on the weekend at like at least 10. 9 o'clock, she's already got her helmet on. She's got her leather jacket on. She got her gloves, and she goes, hey, let's go. I mean, it was.
Oh, yeah, that'll be tomorrow. We'll probably be up about 9 o'clock in the morning, and she's going to be like pushing me out the door so we can go for a bike ride. She absolutely loves it. She actually cannot wait to get her own. So.
Oh yeah. One time this is going to sound bad. Like I said, I like riding by myself. Okay. Cause that's my meditation time. And if it's like, if I'm riding to people from Seattle, Tacoma area to Las Vegas and, all the way, I like riding by myself. I just don't want to have somebody behind me. So one time I told my wife, okay, let's go for a long ride. And we went for a 300-mile ride in one day. And on a motorcycle, that's a lot.
Yeah. We do that quite a bit down here.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we stop, get something to eat. I'm sore. I'm tired because naturally I'm kind of cramped more up towards the fuel tank. And she's like, well, are we going to go another couple 100 miles? Okay.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I remember those. I remember those Harley days. Yes. I remember those Harley days where I'm pretty much just scrunched up on my fuel tank. Now I don't even know she's back there.
Well, that makes a difference. Because when you're on a Harley, especially the big Harleys, when you start going up towards that gas tank, your legs start going up right by the heads of the motor, and then you get these blisters on your legs from the heat.
Oh yeah, yep. And I do not have to worry about that anymore. I am a Goldwing fan, and I'm sticking to them.
Oh yeah, well, I'm going to be switching over from Harley over to Honda, but I want automatic at my age. I'm tired of shifting. Of course, I kind of
get it. I've heard nothing but good reviews about them.
Oh yeah. But getting back to Black Eyed Children, you got anything else you can talk about with Black Eyed Children before we go on to other?
As for them thinking that they're the children of the Men in Black, there's just I don't really see like anything to where they could be the children of Men in Black. They possibly could, but there's just examples of like, you get a visit from the Men in Black and they're trying to find a way to get into your home, like just to try to manipulate you through your mind and everything, just like black-eyed children should do. And, you know, people letting the Men in Black in without, you know, knowing that they shouldn't, but they do it anyways. I think the only difference is maybe the kids haven't quite really worked out their mental abilities yet to get people to actually just draw a blank and allow them in. And the other example is the clothing. The black-eyed kids tend to wear clothing that's out of date, let's say. Like, you know, I mean, a lot of people wear like out-of-date clothes, but, you know, you don't really see anybody from the mid to late 90s to the mid 2000s wearing Victorian era clothing, which a lot of people have been seeing, or, you know, 70s pants. And then the Men in Black, they generally wear like the 60s black suits, white shirt with the really skinny tie and fedoras, which there's very few people who wear those these days. And the skin's roughly the same color. Like, their faces look kind of like doll, like fake. Basically, like a mannequin's walking in the door to talk to you. And this is seems to be a lot of the similarities why people generally try to say that black-eyed kids are like the Men in Black children or whatever, which I don't know. That's an interesting little twist to the story, but that seems more like just somebody writing a story just to get clicks, maybe.
It could be. You know, I have my thoughts about black-eyed children and then the Men in Black. You know, for years we've been transmitting TV since like 1948. Actually 47, we started transmitting TV. And then we have had radio, you know, since the 20s, commercially broadcasting out there. And it would take a huge time for our signal to reach out in space. Now, when you look at Men in Black, the weird reports is like they came in a brand new old car. They are dressed like they were in the late 50s, early 60s. So like they're way like in a time warp. Their hair is like, you know, like they used to use that stuff in their hair to make it greasy and comb back. They wore hats.
The pomade.
Yeah. You know, and then they wore the hats and all that stuff. My feeling is maybe the Men in Black are aliens. And that's how they get our TV signals, like Leave It to Beaver, Donna Reed Show, you know, Father Knows Best. And they think that's how we dressed. So they come to Earth, right? And then whatever they have for their vehicle, they manifest or whatever they do. That's what they think we drive. A 1957 Ford, you know, Galaxy. And we have these black suits and we have these hats and our hair is greased and we wear sunglasses. So if you look at it, it kind of makes some kind of sense. Something is going on weird.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you really want to get into it, like, I really haven't heard much on Men in Black lately either. But yeah, I mean, and there literally has not been any stories that I've been able to find where anybody has actually let them in, save for that one where the child let the black-eyed kid into the car and the lady chased the kid out of the car. But
well, she did the right thing. I think James, wasn't there some lady you're trying to get a hold of out of the UK about a story about a black-eyed children?
Yeah, and I couldn't get a hold of her today, but he talks about some reports of black-eyed children, but I've got several reports of black-eyed children from this year to a couple years ago to 10 years ago. But, you know, what I find, not just with the black-eyed children, but any reports, with cryptids or abductions, UFOs, some people, they might wait a year, 10 years, 5 years before they ever report it.